Hey everyone, I hope that the month of March is treating you all well. It's finally getting a little bit warmer up here in the tundra, and so I am finding myself feeling really inspired and yeah, just enjoying card work this month. It's when you've been reading for a while and it's your job, you can sometimes forget like how awesome it feels to work with cards, especially personally, but I've really been enjoying that lately, so that's been a lot of fun. So today I'm going to do a reveal and a review of the Dreamkeepers Tarot by Liz Huston. Typically I just do a reveal first and then a review. You guys know how I roll with that. I don't like to offer a review when I feel like I haven't gotten to know the deck's personality well enough. However, I am deeply connected to this deck already and am having really powerful experiences with it. So I do feel that it's appropriate to offer a review of the deck now. I first discovered the deck on Instagram. The Devil's Advocate 313 had some beautiful posts featuring the deck. And if you don't follow her on Instagram, please go give her a follow. Her posts are just thought-provoking, beautiful, and inspiring, and wonderfully witchy. And if you're someone who follows a left-hand path or a darker path, also very, very very much in tune with that, although you don't have to follow that type of path to enjoy her posts. So I saw it on there, and then I asked two of my tarot friends, my wonderful, beloved tarot friends, what they thought of the deck, and both of them said that they loved it and they thought I would really like it too. So I went ahead and made the investment. I paid, I believe, 60, maybe 65 with shipping. Absolutely worth making the extra stretch to 60 in order to get the guidebook. It's absolutely worth it. Now, I just want to say, disclaimer, you can see that mine is damaged. My guidebook did not arrive damaged. It was in beautiful condition. I have a 7-year-old son who spilt his entire glass of water on the deck. I mean, on the deck, on the guidebook. So this is why you can see that there's some damage there. It did not arrive that way. It arrived beautifully wrapped with a black ribbon. Everything was in perfect condition. So don't worry about that at all if you're noticing while I'm talking to you that the guidebook has some water damage to it. Hazards of having little guys running around. So the deck arrived like, I paid extra for priority. I think I placed the order and the deck was here maybe on the second day, if not the next day. I was so surprised by how quickly it arrived. So I would definitely say if you want the deck sooner, paying $2 extra for priority is totally worth it. And the deck itself, the art, they arrive signed as well. The guidebook is signed, which is really nice. And this is all her original artwork, produced in 2018. And it took her 10 years to create the deck. It's absolutely stunning. And she has thank you to Kickstarter backers. Like, I was not, I know this deck has been a thing, but I was not aware of it until I saw the post on Instagram and by Devil's Advocate 313, and I was just so drawn into it. So the guidebook is absolutely worth it. She gives really wonderful explanations for the cards and for you know, the messages, especially for like personal work. I think the messages that she gives there that are coming through with the cards can be super helpful and inspiring. And you really, like, this guidebook is worth it. I'm super happy that one of my tarot, like I said, one of my very dear tarot friends was like, go make the extra investment because you're not going to regret it. And she was absolutely right because it's wonderful. So came with the, you know, the guidebook and the deck, which came in this tuck box, were wrapped together in red ribbon, black ribbon, very beautiful. And then if you decide not to get the guidebook, it does come with the, like, a little white book fold out thing of meanings. The tuck box is like a typical tuck box. You know, I mean, I'm going to keep it because I've been finding keeping the boxes lately has been helpful for me, but I'm not attached to the tuck box itself. It's exactly what you would expect of a self-published deck. And let's get into the cards themselves. So this is the card backing. It's very Victorian. If you like the Haunted Mansion Tarot or Haunted House, tarot, the one we all seem to talk about, you will like this deck. No borders, which I love. I am just so in love with the style of the images. You guys know, many of you know that I have a huge affinity for the Edwardian period as well as the Victorian period, and that type of like noir look. And I love this image of the tower, guys. It might be like one of my favorite images of the tower ever. This deck and Three of Swords, I mean, look at that. It's so gorgeous. This deck really, really just echoes that kind of romantic, gothic, Victorian, spiritualist look, while still being very clear about your basic Rider-Waite-Smith meaning. So if you're newer to tarot, I think you can really enjoy, you know, reading with this and not get stumped by some of the imagery. Cardstock quality, it's slippery. I mean, I'm really into that matte thing right now, so that was like, okay. But, you know, cardstock is what you would expect from a self-published deck or a cheaper deck on Amazon. I have absolutely no complaints about it. It shuffles really well for me. It travels well. Some water was actually spilled on the deck, and thankfully it didn't take any damage because I grabbed it quick enough. But there was like a minute or two there where there was definitely water on it, so I felt like it didn't damage too easily. And the only thing I will say, the only downside that I have noticed from this, and it's not that significant, but it is something that I did want to talk about in the video, is there is like a chemical smell to the deck. And it's interesting because sometimes decks will have like a really, really chemical smell and sometimes they won't. But this one did, and I have read with it a great deal over the last few weeks now. And the scent has not really gone away. And when I shuffle, it's prominent. So I would just say, just be aware that there is like a chemical scent. You might want to air the deck out if you don't normally leave your deck out to, I love that Two of Cups. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Oh my God, this deck is so gorgeous. I'm so in love with this deck. So you may want to, like, I leave my decks out anyhow, but I've been leaving this one out on my altar so that she can hopefully kind of air out a little bit. But the scent is there, and I do think in-person clients may notice it. It's not a normal chemical scent, and I don't enjoy it. But that's my only complaint about this deck. This deck has such a clear personality. She reads like a charm. You can feel the love, the effort that went into making this deck. The artwork is absolutely stunning. This may also be my favorite depiction of the star that I have ever seen. Let's see if I back up a little bit. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? It's like romantic and a little bit gothic, but not scary gothic. So if you're someone who's like, oh, Tarot of Vampires is really scary for me, this could give you a little bit of a mystical feel, but not be as, you know, creepy as like Tarot of Vampires or the Night Sun Tarot. And this Ten of Wands is fascinating, right? Like, isn't that? That's not helping. It's so fascinating. I'm not going to show you all the images because you guys know that I don't do that. But this is like a friendly deck. She definitely wants to read with my clients and querents. She wants to be a part of the conversation. Her voice is super clear and fluent. It's like a combination of the elements of water and air, I think, when I think of this deck. And I have really been enjoying the guidebook as far as doing personal draws and giving myself prompts to journal with. This deck is really, really supportive of that. And also offering like new tidbits of, you know, information of things that, you know, things maybe I hadn't thought of in a certain way in a while or to this date. There's our Nine of Pentacles. So I'm going to do a video on Nine of Pentacles soon, guys, because I've been thinking about that one, working with that one a lot. But this deck is gorgeous. If you are even thinking about ordering it, I would really encourage you to go ahead and take the plunge. I have not had a connection this strong with a deck in a long time. This one, True Black, and Tarot of Vampires are maybe my top 3 tarot decks of all time. So I I love this deck. I am in love with this deck. It's not lust. It's definitely love. And I'm looking forward to getting to know her more and more over the next, you know, the next many years that I'm a reader out there in the world doing my thing with my cards. It's just really, really inspiring. It's a creative deck, but it does also honor that left-hand path side, which, as you guys know, I'm someone who follows a left-hand path, and I'm always so encouraged when I see that there's a way that we can honor the left-hand path that doesn't have to be in your face and yet is deeply authentic to a left-hand path. So in my opinion, that's one of these decks. That may not be your opinion, but in my opinion it is. And the artist is just, her work is beautiful. You can feel the love, the energy, the effort, the attention she poured into this deck. I will also try to post her Instagram account if I can remember that as well, and the link to purchase the deck if you are interested. I am so thrilled with the investment. I'm so happy I got the guidebook. Like I said, I really do think the guidebook's worth it. It's not a throwaway guidebook. It does present her perspective as well in the work and the choice of imagery, and also those kind of prompts that can really encourage you. Like at the end of the card meaning, there'll be like a couple paragraphs, like, let's see. This is the... Okay, so, I don't know, that one's like, everybody knows that. Let me see if I can find... So here's Six of Swords, and like so the last two paragraphs, you know, kind of like summing up card meaning, etc., what we would expect. But I found a lot of room for prompts there in journaling, because it's like she says, if you're unable to travel or step away, consider that the simplest of acts can carry symbolic weight. Open the windows in your home, allowing fresh air to circulate. Take a new route from a familiar destination and allow a new landscape to inform you. Something about the way that she words things at the end of the card meaning has been really helpful for me in prompts for myself when journaling. So I know that's not the best example, but I don't want to make us wait while I try to find a more perfect, perfect example of what I'm trying to say. But I do think that it does make a really big difference when that type of thought is put into a guidebook, because it does give you a really nice jumping off point to follow your own prompts in journaling. And also, I think this is a great deck for storytelling. So if you are someone who likes to write stories off of card spreads, this is a beautiful deck to do that with. It's absolutely stunning. I cannot say enough beautiful things about this deck, and I'm so excited and so thankful that I did choose to invest in it, because it's absolutely worth it. So there's my review of the Dreamkeepers Tarot by Liz Huston. I am sending you all much love and many blessings, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.